Hello and welcome to the TMC Newsroom. My name is Rich Tehrani. Thanks for watching. On the program today is Frank Jablonski. He's the Senior Director of Product Marketing at CA Technologies. Hello, Frank.
Well, Rich, how are you?
Good. I thought we'd start out by discussing which area that you work for at CA Technologies.
I work in the Recovery Management and Data Modeling Business Unit. We really focus on protecting a customer's data with the CA ArcServe family of products.
Fantastic. And from where you are in the market, what have you been seeing in the last couple of years in terms of the industry?
I think there's been a big change in the market over the last couple of years. You know, customers' data has becoming more and more critical to their business, and they're also dealing with much larger volumes of data. You know, we see that all the time where information, we constantly save it. You know, we have to have it as a record for compliance reasons or to mine for your business to be able to be more competitive, and that becomes very important and critical to the success of your business. And if something happens where you lose that information or you lose access to that information for even a small time period, depending on what the information is, that can have a very devastating effect on a business.
So if I had to ask what pain you take away for customers, what would your answer be?
I guess the biggest pain that we take away would be the fact that we make sure that they're able to protect, recover, and have access to their applications and data and systems when they need that.
Okay. So in terms of the location of the information, you mentioned compliance. Does the information generally live within the customer's premise when you're working with them?
You know, that's another big change that's happened over the last couple of years, is that I've seen statistics that show over 70% of a company's data exists outside of the corporate data center. So it's very important for companies to look to protect the data both internally in their data centers as well as what's out in their remote and branch offices.
Now, the move to the cloud, since, I mean, you're alluding to that, I mean, 70% outside the data center doesn't necessarily mean cloud, but there is a move to the cloud, and I'm curious if that is changing the way your customers are working with you.
It absolutely is, because customers are seeing the cloud as another place that they can continue their business or conduct their business, right? So they may have an application running locally. If something were to happen to that local data center, say, you know, the Florida area, for instance, with the hurricane season now, they could use the cloud to migrate an application to and continue to run from the cloud in the event of a storm affecting the local data center in Florida.
Okay, so there has been, I guess, some differences that you're noticing, right?
Absolutely. There is a lot of interest in the cloud. You know, I'm not so sure on the numbers as to how many people are actually moving to the cloud today, but there's certainly a lot of interest as another place to put your applications and data to run your business.
Certainly a buzzword. I mean, we've been talking about it since the ASP model of 1999 that kind of went away for a few years and then came back as on-demand and hosted, and more recently we started calling it cloud. And it's the same thing, of course, but we like to use different acronyms because certain acronyms come in style, go out of style, come in style, go out of style, right? It's just the way this business works.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, it's just, you know, like we're going back to the mainframe, right? That's more or less what's happening, a group of mainframes in the cloud. So in terms of your area of focus, are you seeing a lot of growth outside the U.S. as well as inside the U.S.? Are there certain regions of the world that seem to be doing better, worse?
You know, from a business growth perspective, we're seeing it all the way across the world. You know, we market our products worldwide, so North America, South America, Europe, Asia Pacific, Japan, and we're seeing, you know, good business growth from this market across the entire world, you know, because it's a big issue for companies today to make sure that they can recover and continue their business in the event that something happened to that data, whether it be, you know, a hard drive on a server crash or, you know, something created by nature in terms of storms or just human error. In fact, the majority of data loss is due to humans making a mistake. You accidentally hit the wrong key, and you go, darn, I wish I hadn't hit that one. And so you need to be able to access and recover that information very quickly. So that's what we focus on with our customers, is really providing them multiple levels of recovery. Recover very quickly from a local disk, being able to recover from a remote site or recover to a remote site, being able to access information in the cloud or send your data to the cloud to recover from in another location should you need to, and also to be able to write data off the tape and send off site for long-term archiving.
Do customers look to your division to purchase from partly because of integration with other areas of the company, or because they're customers of other products that you have within the organization?
As being part of CA Technologies, we certainly do enjoy the leverage that CA Technologies brings to us in our particular business unit, but we also drive 100% of our business through the channel. So we reach out to many, many companies through the channel as opposed to using CA's direct sales force.
Oh, okay. So there's a combination there. All right.
Yes.
So final question is, what's next for the company, especially your area?
Well, specifically around our area, it's very important that customers are able to have those multiple levels of recovery and access to their information when they need that. So we're really focusing on making it much easier for customers to be able to protect their data, providing them all the tools that they need within one family of products. That's why when we talk about the CA ArcServe family of products, we're talking about disk-to-disk backup. We're talking about the ArcServe backup product, which backs up to disk, backs up to tape. We're talking about replication, being able to send data to another location, and high availability to include the complete failover of that customer's system to another location should they need to do that. The other thing is we try to work with them to support their business processes. When you're doing maintenance, you can fail over your server to another location, do the maintenance on the local server, and then fail it back. So we're trying to work in to help them minimize downtime as well.
That makes a lot of sense. Well, thanks for being on the program. This is great.
Thank you.
Great
It's been
to
a pleasure
meet you.
talking to you.
Yeah, likewise.